This is Dave with NAPCO Tech Support. In this video, I will explain how to backup, restore, and migrate all versions of DL Windows. As always, feel free to pause the video at any time if it makes it easier to follow along. Before moving forward, I first must explain that backups are version specific. The backup files from version 3 are not compatible with version 4 and 5. The backup files of version 4 are not compatible with 3 and 5. And the version 5 backups are not compatible with versions 3 and 4. There is an upgrade procedure for the backups, and that will be explained in the next video. I will start with DL Windows 5 backups, and I will cover DL Windows 3 and 4 later in the video. Feel free to jump to that chapter if that is the information you're looking for. There are two different ways of backing up DL Windows 5. Because DL Windows 5 is built using Microsoft's SQL Express, the first method is the SQL backup, also known as a .back file. Back files are created two ways. One, by the automatic backup set in your DL Windows options menu. And the other, done manually by clicking on Tools and then Backup Database. The files are saved in C, Program Files, Microsoft SQL Server, the server name, and then the backup folder. You can see here that I have multiple SQL servers, and that is because I have had multiple versions of DL Windows installed on this computer. If you have only one version, you will only see one server name. But if you have had multiple, then you would see multiple names. Backups that are created are only compatible with the version that it was created by, and the back file must be in the backup folder of the version that created it in order to restore. I will go into that more in the chapter covering restoring. The next backup method is backing up the account. This method is compatible with all versions of DL Windows 5, and it doesn't have any of the compatibility problems that the .back files do. It does have one main limitation though, and that is that it only backs up the selected account. So if you have a lot of accounts, it may be easier to use the SQL.back method. To back up an account, you will first select the account on the left, then click on Tools, and then Export Account. You will then be given the option to choose the save location. Unlike the .back files, it doesn't matter where you save this file. This method would be the one that I recommend in most cases. When it comes to restoring DL Windows 5, it doesn't get any easier than restoring using the ACC files. You don't have to place the file anywhere special at all. You just open DL Windows, click on Tools, and then Import Account. Then you select your ACC file and then click Open. Next, it will ask you to name the account. This is the name that will show in the tree on the left. As you can see here, I already have 3 accounts, so I'm just going to name this one Account 4. Usually, these account names will be named something that lets you know what they are for, either a building name or a business name. I'm just naming mine this for this demonstration. Restoring DL Windows from the back file is a little more difficult. Because this is an SQL backup, you must follow the rules established by Microsoft SQL, meaning the back file must be copied to the backup folder of the SQL version that created it, and this is dependent on the DL Windows version you had installed when it was made. After you have copied the back file into the correct folder, go into DL Windows and choose the option Tools, then Restore Database. Next, choose the back file you wish to restore, and then click Open. You will then get the Executing Database Restore, Please Wait message. After it completes, you should get the Database Restore Completed Successfully message at the bottom. To elaborate, If you have a back file that was made in DL Windows 553 using SQL 2012, it will only restore in DL Windows 553 using SQL 2012. When the back file is created by DL Windows, the version it was created with is in the name of the file, but the version of SQL that made it is not. When dealing with a back file that you don't know what version of SQL created it, your best bet is to start with the SQL version that comes packaged with that version of DL Windows. DL Windows 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, and 5.4 all come with SQL 2008. DL Windows 5.5.2 and 5.5.3 came with SQL 2012, and DL Windows 5.5.4 came with SQL 2014. However, as explained in the second video of the basic training series, SQL 2014 and older versions reached end of life in July of 2024, so you may not be able to get them to install on a Windows 11 PC. There is a way to import and upgrade your database using Microsoft SSMS if you don't know what version it was created by, but that will be covered in a video in our IT Pro series. Finally, let's talk about the old versions of DL Windows. In DL Windows 4 and 3, we didn't use SQL, so the rules are a bit different. Instead, you will have a DL Windows folder located at the root of your C drive, and in that folder, you will find your account.adf, accountlog.adf, and accountlist.adf files. If you have more than one account like I do, you will see multiple account.adf and accountlog.adf files, but there will always be only one accountlist.adf. All of these files are needed when migrating and upgrading. To back up version 4 and version 3, you will click on Tools and then Backup Accounts. Then select where you wish to save the files to and click Save. Unlike DL Windows 5, these are not back files. Instead, it copies those same ADF files I pointed out to you before to the location of your choosing. You can then copy these files to a thumb drive or a network drive and import them on another PC. To import these, you would then click on Tools, then Import Single ADF Account File. Select the account you want to import and click Open, and then give it a name. Keep in mind, version 3 and version 4 ADF files are not interchangeable. You must first upgrade 3 to 4 before you can use it. In the next video, I will cover how to upgrade from DL Windows 3 to DL Windows 4 and how to upgrade DL Windows 4 to DL Windows 5. I will also cover how to upgrade each iteration of DL Windows 5 to the next. As always, if you need documentation for any of our current NAPCO products or more videos like this one, head on over to our tech library at tech.napcosecurity.com.